Your commentators Sean Baker, Jim Weish and Mike Delahunty. But first of all, it's Scott and Dave.
Ladies and gents, it is now time to play some pool. We've reached the semi-final stages, so introducing first, ladies and gents. You may have seen him in the last 16 of this year's World Snooker Championships, beating John Higgins in the very first round. So please make him feel very welcome all the way from Leicester, Mr. Mark Selby!
This afternoon, ladies and gents, you all know him very well. He is the World Masters champion and twice champion in this competition. Going for his hat-trick this year, please welcome to the table the one, the only, Chris Melling.
So it's the confidence of Chris Melling up against the cool composure of Mark Selby. Which one will be the last man standing and through to the final? Well, you have tuned in to a crackerjack of a match here. The lag to initiate it all between Selby on the right and Melling on the left. And that may be the last joke you see shared between these two. Well, not the best of legs we've seen, but it looks like Selby will have the break. It's now a race to 10, best of 19. And the man far better known for his snooker prowess is making a big statement here in Blackpool in this year's event. And Sean Baker, one of the head referees, and you're probably a lot more comfortable in here, Sean, than you are out there, aren't you?
I've got to admit, Jim, I quite enjoy being in here, but I don't mind being out in the TV arena, particularly when it gets to a match like this. This is absolute dream match normally to referee. This is what you want. This is when you come to this tournament, you think, I want to be there, I want to be the referee on a match like that.
Yeah, you've got two seasoned gentlemen out there, real sportsmen, to a fault, both of these players. Know each other well. Frame number one, Selby. With the break, ball down. And I'll tell you what, if Mark Selby plays the way he did in his quarterfinal match against Ben Noonan, and Melling plays the way he did against Mick Hill, there can only ever be one winner in this.
Most definitely. But I think you'll see a different Chris Melling today. I think you'll see a totally different Chris Melling today. If he starts making a ball on the break, this will just come down to that fact as who makes any sort of slight tactical errors, slight error on the one shot. That's what's going to decide this match, Jim.
Well, I'm going to throw that same question over to the man sat just to your right, seconds. Sean. Mick Hill, or Mick Delahunty. Got Mick Hill on the brain. I was going to ask you, I mean, obviously the way Melling played against Mick Hill, you know, there were a lot of nerves in that one, but you saw firsthand how Selby played against one of the young up-and-comers from Australia, Ben Noonan.
Yeah, well, I reckon, Jim, that, geez, if Mark breaks as well as he did against Ben, he's going to be very hard to beat. I've been watching Chris this week. He's been fantastic, but his break hasn't been as good as in other years I've seen him. He'll need to break well because Mark just finishes just about every time he breaks. He pots a ball and goes out, so I feel like he's going to win this match.
Well, certainly this is a dream start out of the blocks for Selby. He's got the two reds in the middle of the table that are wedged together there right now, and looks like that bottom one passes into the bottom corner pocket, but Mark's just having a good look at it, taking lots of time. You certainly will get no careless mistakes from this man.
No, I don't think we saw too many mistakes in his quarter-final victory over Ben Noonan from Australia.
30 seconds.
You say he was certainly queuing well then. And to be fair, Ben didn't really do a lot wrong in that match.
Don't know whether he's got enough angle here to smash this in and get the cue ball down the left-hand side of the table.
He's going to have to force it, Jim, but I think he's got enough angle. He's such a beautiful cueist. There you have it. He's actually gone too far.
Yeah, but we had a glimpse there. Does this red pass into the center? Looked very close. If not, it certainly doubles into the opposite center. But I think this will just go.
He's just taking a little bit more time on this shot than you'd perhaps normally see Mark Selby take, but...
30 seconds.
Yeah, there was no guarantees. Potted the other one in the bottom corner. Well, which one was he intending?
Well, I'm convinced he was going for the one in the middle there.
I reckon you're wrong, Sean. I reckon he's a certainty to be playing the bottom one, straight in the corner, knocking the red out.
Well, the way he played it, though, he was certain to cannon to the other ball, and he wasn't sure where that ball was going to go, Mick. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah, I just thought the red wasn't on in the middle. I thought it was very, very close, iffy shot, but the one on the bottom was definitely on.
Either way, Melling will slide to the table.
And you'll see there, Chris Melling was straight out of his chair.
Yeah, like a jack in the box, he popped out of that chair. We'll never know now. But Chris, with the controls in his hands right now, he's got a couple options here.
Well, this won't take Chris long, I don't think. They're all pretty open and looks over. First miss from Mark. Haven't seen one in his other match, but bit of nerves, I think, playing Chris.
It's going to be one of those matches that you just love to see, because both of these players play with a lot of conviction, a lot of confidence, and, you know, they go for their shots. When the table presents itself, they don't muck about.
No, I mean, I did hear Chris talking to the referee, Andy Price, before the game, and he asked him if he had his training shoes on. So I don't think Chris will be hanging around at all. So if the balls are there, he'll be running around that table.
And what kind of negative seeds is this going to plant in Mark Selby's mind after Melling completes the clearance here?
I don't think there'll be any negative thoughts really in Mark Selby's mind. He knows he's just made one slight positional error, but that was the errors we were talking about.
Said with tongue-in-cheek, Sean. The 8 down. And Chris Melling opens his account in the semi-final. Race to 10. He's off the mark 1-0.
Here we see again this red. He's tried to thin cut it to the middle pocket, and he's just overcut it slightly. It's only just reached, if you like, the knuckle. It's certainly he needed just a touch more pace on that. There's Chris there going down, just having a little look at the pack there. Again, something else he discussed with our referee Andy before the match. He was out there in the arena and just had Andy rack one or two balls up for him, and he's quite happy.
Second frame, Chris Melling to break. He leads by 1 frame to 0.
Chris says, just hand me the cue ball and let me get on with it. 1-0 in front of Mark Selby. Our first semi-final in the 2006 ImproveYourPool.com World 8-Ball Championships.
Red ball potted.
You say he's made a ball, but he's not got a particularly easy start on reds.
Yellow ball's nominated.
And he's gone yellows. Probably what I expected there.
You know, we heard at the top of the program, you know, our presenter John Green talked about Melling having really the monkey over Mark Selby as far as a psychological advantage. Now, Mick, coming from a number of years, we won't say how many, you know, your background playing this game, will that play on Mark Selby's mind?
Oh, without doubt. I think we saw it in the first frame. It was a finish that Mark's been making all week. But playing Chris, he certainly just those extra nerves, and well, it's happening already, isn't it? Chris has got a ball off the break, and I think that's key for him. If he manages to do that, then he's going to be hard to beat. But, yeah, Mark's a bit nervy, I think. Just a bad miss earlier.
I mean, one thing about Chris Melling, Sean, and you'll know well, I mean, does this man ever feel like he should be beaten?
No, I mean, that is one thing. People will put it down, maybe, you know, if you didn't know Chris, you'd say he was arrogant, but it's not arrogance, it's just pure confidence in his own ability. Say, this guy's been knocking balls in for fun for, what, 10, probably 12 years now, and he knows all about what this game's about.
And lest we forget, he faced adversity in his match with Mick Hill. He had to win the last 2 frames to scrape home a 9-8 winner, and that is positioned perfect. Black to the same pocket. Makes it look effortless, does Melling, the two-time world champion, bidding to become only the first man to hoist the crown 3 times. 2-0 in front of Mark Selby. Mark Selby now, frame number 3. He was never behind in his quarterfinal match. He finds himself 2-0 down here. And the yellow down off the break.
He made a red as well into this bottom right-hand corner pocket. So he's got the option of which ones you want to take. Isn't like he's got an easy start here. He's tucked up fairly close to that yellow. He's got a yellow down the table.
Yellow ball's in play.
Nothing easy
Bottom
here,
right,
Sean, that's
no.
for sure.
Oh, I tell you what, that is a fantastic shot. That is tremendous. I mean, as you said, there was nothing easy at all on that table, Mick, and he just pulled that one out.
And now, Sean, it looks easy. That's just one great shot. All of a sudden it looks easy.
Well, when you're only 22 years of age, don't they all look easy?
Yeah, something like that. But he certainly needs this frame for his confidence, and because Chris is such a good player, of course. But he needs to go out here and really just...
Total of 49 years between the two players at the table. Melling, the elder statesman, at 27.
A couple of times now he's just nudged that black as he's been navigating his way around these yellows, which he's still okay like, but it's a dangerous thing to be doing. We've seen that players do that in previous TV matches, Jim, where they end up running into balls and then getting out of position, but Mark's certainly not done that here. He's taking this finish out very quickly.
I even like what he's just done there, just resettling himself. He knows this is a big shot, and he's slightly hampered queuing.
It's a great shot, isn't it? A few ways he could have played that, but he took the safest way, and now he's just got a simple black in the middle.
And Selby gets over his first hurdle, taking his opening frame. 2-1, he still trails Chris Melling. And that was a nice little effort from Selby there. Probably the most difficult shot that confronted him was the first. And this was a nice shot, too. Again, I like the way that he composed himself and settled into it before playing it. Well, lots of bottom applied to that cue ball to pull it off that side cushion, and nicely controlled.
And this is exactly the type of match we were predicting before we went on air, Jim. I think we expected them, if they were making the ball off the break, they'd just be going out. And it could just eventually come down to who's got the break in that deciding frame, maybe. See Chris there's having a little laugh. He's had a check of the pack, I think, again.
4th frame, Chris Melling to break. He leads by 2 frames to 1.
Melling at the table, 2-1 in front. The break was not kind to him in his quarterfinal match against Mick Hill, and it's deserted him here.
Mark's into it very quickly, taking the red balls.
He's decided he's going to go reds.
Red ball's in play.
Just hampered the black a little bit there, but I don't think there's too much serious damage. All these reds look pretty easy. Just a matter of working his way around them.
Yeah, there's a slightly awkward one that's just in the middle of the table.
You can see the reds nicely positioned. It's all about controlling that cue ball.
You're just looking there, that one that's of the 3 reds at the bottom half the table, it's the middle one that's the slightly awkward one. He's just looking where he needs to be.
Must be on, I think, the way he's played that. He's going to play it right now. Screw back for the other 2 at the other end.
And one thing with these two as well, technically very sound, both of them. Very comfortable on the snooker table. Selby considerably better known in that regard. But having said that, Melling has knocked a few balls in on a snooker table as well.
And as we adhered to, that we talked about earlier, Chris's break could be the key to this match. Coming up dry
30
here.
seconds.
Now, it looks like from the center of the table, the black is available to the bottom right corner. So I don't believe Mark has to do anything special.
I think you're right, Jim. He hasn't played to get any angle to knock it out, so it's obviously on into the corner pocket.
Again, he's just taking his time here, just composing himself, as you said he did in the previous frame. And you'll see there, that black does go in there. Just come back lovely there, left himself nice little angle, past the yellow.
It's a terrific standard. These two have shown us the break could well be the difference. 2-2, the first 4 frames split. Well, Selby well and truly back into this. Looked like Melling had the opportunity to get his tail up and run away and hide. Well, Selby kept him in his crosshairs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that break does go for Chris in this. I was talking to him just beforehand in the arena, and he'd been in the practice room and he potted a ball six times out of 7 frames. And he'd gone on and dished each of those frames.
Well, from what we've seen, there's so little between them, the break could well be the difference.
Fifth frame, Mark Selby to break. Scores are tied at 2 each.
Neither one of these will show much in the way of emotion until the final. Frame 5. And Mark Selby certainly has the advantage with the break. He seems to have it working considerably better than Melling. And at 2-2, his chance to look at his first lead in the match.
Well, first look, he's probably going to think about going reds here. He's got one
Red ball's in
slightly
play.
awkward. Yeah, he's elected to take reds. He's got one slightly awkward ball. It's on the side rail, top of the table, but looks like he's played for that straight away. And you wouldn't expect a player of Mark's calibre to miss this.
Just the cluster around the black looks a little bit awkward too, Sean, but I'm sure he'll find a way around them.
I think what you might find here, whether he's left himself an angle to pot this and screw back into the black, I don't know.
I think he's just going to kiss the yellow and the other red will go straight across to the other side.
He obviously thinks that red goes to the right corner pocket as a plant.
Well, he's played these beautifully, hasn't he? It's just a couple of balls to finish off with the black going back to the other corner.
That's it. He didn't play that too firmly. Could have quite easily played it firmly and knocked one of the reds a little bit more awkward than they needed to have been. But now he's played a good shot. I'm just asking for the rest here. One thing you'll know about this match, that both of them are very good players with the rest. So both professional snooker players as well. Chris is not quite as high up the rankings as Mark. He has got back on the main tour for next year.
He's got pretty straight on this. I don't know if he can get it back into the bottom corner. He might have to put it up the other end. He's screwed back for the middle pocket. It's a great shot.
And again, showing a lot of confidence. Unafraid to move that cue ball around. And the 8 deposited, and for the first time, Selby with his nose in front. He's taken the last 3 frames, 3-2 over Melling. Well, if Chris Melling didn't know he was going to be in a dogfight, he does now. As confident as the 2-time world champion is, confidence can only take you so far.
Exactly. He certainly needs a little bit of luck as well. He needs a little bit of run. Like you say, you can be supremely confident, but if you're sat in your chair while your opponent keeps clearing up on you, then your confidence does nothing for you whatsoever, Jim.
I'll be curious to see if he changes where he attacks the break from.
Chris is just such a good player. He gets balls off the break, he's right in this. But if it continues the way it's going, well, it has been going the last few days.
Sixth frame, Chris Melling to break.
He needs to get balls off the break.
So the Magician winds it up. 3-2, he trails Selby. And he needs a good break.
It's dry again.
He cannot afford to be going back to his chair after his break. Not the way that Mark Selby is shown, not the form Selby apparently is in.
And yellows look like the ball here, Jim.
They look great, don't they, Sean?
He's got no difficulties whatsoever. Shouldn't be a problem at all. He's just composing himself. He's not run to the table and just got straight on with it. He's just making his mind up.
Yellow closest to the black, Sean, just may cause him a little bit of strife. He's just the one close to the black. He needs to move it at some stage, I think.
Yellow ball's in play.
Totally emotionless, too, isn't he? Very stoic. I mean, he just goes about his business like another day at the office.
Oh, and he's just developed the black and opened up the yellow I was talking about. Now it's just simple out.
What kind of a message is this sending to Chris Melling?
The message it's sending, Jim, is he needs to find a ball. He needs, off the break, he needs to find a way of making that ball. I'll tell you one thing he did do as well before this match. He did actually try and borrow Darren Appleton's break cue. And
Chris did?
Chris did, and Darren Appleton said no chance.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, because he was obviously, Darren was making a ball in his quarter-final match.
And don't forget, Darren Appleton is still alive and kicking in this event. So why would he want to do any of his possible opponents any favors?
Exactly, Jim.
This boy's doing it very easily when he gets his visits to the table, though, isn't he? He's fantastic.
Always the sign of a champion. Makes it look preposterously easy.
He's not come quite as far as he wanted, but should still be okay.
No danger at all. Once again, the same song is being played. Selby, the last four on the spin to go 2 clear of Melling. Well, he has carried his form from the quarterfinal right through to this semi.
Selby to break. He leads by 4 frames to 2.
And he's starting to look a lot like a snowball rolling down a hill. Frame number 7. And Mark Selby looking to extend his lead. Got a red down. Chris Melling.
Ball potted.
I'd like to have seen his reaction after that ball went in, because Chris has enjoyed absolutely no luck off the break whatsoever, and he sees his opponent all happening for him.
On the yellows, I think, Sean. Yeah, he's gone yellows.
Yeah, just had a quick look from the overhead camera if
in play.
which one he was going to go. I think reds or yellows. The only problem with the reds was the two that are close to each other on the bottom rail would have been the big problem.
Yeah, I agree entirely. He's still got a bit of work to do. Maybe play the yellow into the corner pocket and screw back into the black to develop those other two. But they're just complicated in the middle there. He's just looking at it now. I'm sure he'll work a way out. Ball in the middle, screwing back into them now, maybe.
Boy, did he get some bottom into that cue ball on that shot. Tried to screw off the side cushion and develop the yellows right there.
But he has got no result, Jim, by the looks of it. He's not much on now the yellow to the centre pocket, but those two yellows close to the black and the red there are still... They don't look to be on terribly easy anyway.
I've seen shots like that start a fire on the cloth. Unerring accuracy.
Do you know, I think that yellow that's closest to the black, just above it, may be on in the corner pocket.
And again, expressionless. All business.
It certainly goes in the centre pocket, Jim, if it doesn't go into the bottom pocket.
This is really the big shot here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sean, he's got to get behind these into a place where he can attack them. He's had a look over on the left-hand side, so that one yellow is available to the right-hand middle.
Yeah, he's straight. He was just pointing with his cue there. I think exactly where he was trying to leave the cue ball on this shot. He's gone round the angles, and he's come on the other side. So he's obviously thinking something else. I wonder if he's thinking the double on. Or even does he think it goes in that pocket? I don't think it does from that shot, Jim.
Not exactly sure where he tried to get to, unless he's short and he tried to drop behind these to play the yellow up to the top corner. But there's no way this yellow passes.
Chris would be sitting in his seat with itchy feet, I'm sure. He'd be praying that he gets back to the table right now.
He'll have moved a little closer to the edge, I'll wager.
No question. It's a very good shot.
And look where he's left the cue ball.
Yeah, and I think he's played to cover the pocket, not to pot there. You see where that cue ball's finished. He'd not left himself on the other yellow, so it was a deliberate action.
You know, Chris has tried to bump that red to cover the yellow that's nearest the black.
Will he have a go or just get the bad yellow out? This is the key here. He's such an adventurous player.
Oh, you can't see him trying to knock the yellow in over the pocket and clear them. Surely he's got to just bump that yellow into the open.
That's the play, but I wouldn't be at all surprised. No, he's playing the safety, which is probably the right option, but gee, he's played well.
Well, the thing is, he hasn't got to take any chances here. He's the guy that's 4-2 up. It's Chris that needs to get back in this game. Chris needs this frame.
Yeah, excellent shot. I agree with you entirely. He's the one who's not under pressure at the moment. Chris is the one under pressure. He's about to play a nice little snooker, though, one would think.
But Chris is also the one. He's got all his colours on the table. He's got more options.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect him to get 2 visits here, but if he happens to get 2 at some stage, gee,
to be honest,
he'll clean them up.
Yeah, if he got 2 visits, I was just going to say that, he'd clear these. But, like you say, he's left a fairly easy out there for Mark. Off the left-hand side rail, so...
It's good to see a little bit of a tactical battle anyway. All we've seen is putting for about 5 frames.
30 seconds.
Just wonder, is he thinking of trying to pot this in the middle pocket? He certainly played it at pace.
Well, certainly, I think he tried to. If he'd potted, I think I would have just given up for life. The way these guys are playing, it's unbelievable.
And you can see what Chris's method of operation is. He's trying to extract the mistake. He's trying to buy himself 2 visits.
And realistically, he needs 2 visits at some stage or another. And he needs them where he's got something on first shot.
Couple snooker.
Well, the only danger is that he's knocking more reds near that pocket that's guarded by Mark's yellow.
Just clipped it.
Just got the paint there, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm sure with 2 visits, Chris will get those balls out of there. He'll get them all out of there, so... He's going to be looking for a safety again, doesn't he? Somewhere, Sean.
Yeah, but it's becoming more increasingly difficult to get a safety.
Yeah, the problem is, you're saying Mick he'd get all those 3 out in one go. I don't think he would at the moment, because you've got those 2 reds that are fairly close together, near the yellow of the corner pocket.
I understand that, Sean. I think he could hit the one on the... Well, it's all conjecture. I'm sure if the white was up the table, he could hit half ball off one of them, double the other one out, and knock the red onto the other red along the side cushion and get down. How's that?
I think you must have been to one of his exhibitions, because that sounds like exhibition stuff.
Mate, I've seen him play. I know how good he is. Oh, what's he left? This is the key here. He's having a good look himself before he leaves the table.
Did he try to wedge that red in there to take the yellow out and occupy the pocket?
He obviously thought he could get that red in there.
Well, if that yellow's not on, it's a pretty reasonable shot, actually.
I
Giving
think it
himself
might
an
be great.
opportunity.
I think he's played a great shot. Watch it. Just cleared that pocket, got that yellow out of there.
Clever use of the white. He's put it behind the black and the red in the middle of the table and stopped him from
30
hitting the
seconds.
yellow up the table.
I mean, that's all assuming that Mark cannot get through to this yellow. And this is his second look.
There's no question he hit the yellow first, but can he now see the other one?
No, because that red's coming in.
We're right round the table and got in front of him. I agree
Well,
with you,
I'll
Sean.
tell you one thing, Mick. You say there's no question he hit the yellow first. I think he played it at pace because he wanted to make sure there was no question.
Hey, my eyes are better than yours, Jim, that's all.
I want to see that one in slow motion.
No, I think that was a pool player's eyes. You've looked at that through, Mick. Put it this way, if I'd have been the ref, I'd have been straight in there, and I think Andy was quite close to that, so... Yeah.
A total eclipse right now, but
Here we see
watch
that shot
this.
again. No, he
Hit the yellow first, definitely, I think. How'd we
30
go?
seconds.
But either way, the problem what Selby is faced with now, 2 cushions. Well, it buys a little bit of time, but that time might be fleeting because it's the opportunity that Melling awaited.
Really has done well, Jim, here. He was in strife, and he's given himself an opportunity now. Red's near the black might cause him some concern, but I'm sure he'll clear them at some
I
stage.
think he could try and disturb him here with this shot. And as you see, that one to the left of the black does go into the right-hand corner pocket.
You just nudge the black
Yeah,
and
just
move the
nudge
other
black
red out
and
of the
leave
way.
it out here, yeah.
That's it. It's a great shot.
Fantastic stuff. It does not get any better than this.
Time out.
This is a standard that, well, we've almost come to expect from Melling, but Mark Selby
Time
is
running.
firing everything at the former champion, and the champion has picked himself up off the mat.
We didn't think we were going to see any tactics in this match, but we've seen some, and Melling's won that battle in this frame.
And very well, too, Sean. Yeah, he was in real strife.
Down goes the 8, and Chris Melling stops the rot. 4-3 to Mark Selby, and what a performance from Melling in that frame. Tremendous exhibition of tactical play, shot making. We're seeing it all in the semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is known for his potting ability and, you know, and his big frames and big outs, but he is also a very good tactical player. He's having a little chat with somebody there, and I'm not sure if
I
it's
think he's
Mark.
talking to Mark. I mean, these two have played each other on the snooker table. They've played each other on the pool table.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen that. 2 players talking across the table during a break.
It can mean only one thing. We're all going to enjoy this.
Yeah, they're having a ball out there.
He's even have a little laugh with the ref
Chris
there.
Melling to break. He trails by 3 frames to 4.
Just nearing the halfway point. A possible 19 to be played. It's frame number 8. And
Foul.
Melling, the break has been disastrous for him. If
One
Mark
visit,
Selby
time
wasn't
running.
breaking so well, I think Melling would be better served to just pass the break.
And that's a bad mistake, because it's not been cannoned in. He's just screwed that straight back into that middle pocket. Yeah, Mark's played a great shot there
The ball's
by
in
taking
play.
that. The one awkward red he's probably got on the table. He's developed it straight away with that first shot. And there's not too much difficulty here now in the finish.
And you can see him finishing here pretty quickly, can't you? Ball up the top, next one in the middle, and red just up a little bit from the bottom cushion onto the 2 at the bottom and finishing. Overhit that one, Sean.
Yeah, he's just going to say, he seems to have overhit that and just come a little bit too far.
I think he's got lucky, actually.
I think he's got it into the bottom left-hand corner pocket.
Definitely not intended, but gratefully accepted.
A little bit of concentration, just stood up again, as you said earlier, Jim. He's certainly keeping composed. It's a good shot.
It's a fantastic shot, that is. He stopped that cue, but quite easy to have lost that cue ball there. He stopped it almost on a sixpence.
Giving himself both reds, either one, and taking this one.
Yeah, he can do that, and he's going to drop back up the table for the black into the same corner pocket he's just knocked that red into.
That's it.
To re-establish the two-frame lead. 5-3. Selby quickly replies.
Right.
And it'll be Mark Selby with the break in frame number 9.
Say this is it's a fantastic shot here. You see this cue ball almost stops dead. He's just nudged it off the cushion, but he stopped it. See from the other angle. That's a great shot, that was. I say, because he had run out of position there.
I think if you're going to beat a player the ilk of a Chris Melling, you have to take every opportunity. You have to keep Melling in his chair because he's far too dangerous to allow at the table. And that's exactly what Mark Selby has done.
Ninth frame, Mark Selby to break. He leads by 5 frames to 3.
Frame number 9. Selby with a 2-frame lead and halfway to the finish line.
Come on, Chris.
And you can hear the crowd slightly biased. I think Melling has been in the world of 8-ball pool a little longer than has Mark Selby.
Well, I think you'll find there's a lot of people come over from Keighley in West Yorkshire this afternoon for this match, and I think that's just giving them supporters a little bit of hope there, seeing Mark Selby come up dry on the break.
You think he has to take the yellows here, Jim? The red seems to be jammed into the centre pocket between the other two yellows. He's taking the yellows.
30 seconds.
Oh, he stood up. Good concentration, though, Sean. You saw Selby.
Mark Selby.
That was a timely announcement by our referee. But again, you've got to tip your hat to Melling.
Well, the thing about that is that that was Hazel Dabrowski, our timekeeper this afternoon, and she's got no choice as to when she calls 30 seconds. It's got to be called when it reaches 30 seconds. No matter what the player's doing. If the player's down the shot like that, that's unfortunate. You
just clear it up and you leave no room for doubt whatsoever, Sean. I liken it to Tiger Woods stopping his swing when he gets distracted in the middle. And I can't begin to tell you how difficult that is.
Well, I'm going to say I played a bit of golf, Jim, and I'm never convinced how he does that.
Chris hasn't played the best shot here,
absolutely, that's a loose shot he's played there, Mick, isn't it?
You know, he's a very good recoverer, but geez, he needs to play a good shot here.
Very lax positional shot from Melling. No way he wanted to be wedged over that black.
I think he was probably a bit stiff. He kissed into the red and the black just to open the black up, and white ball just curled around it and sat on top of it. And certainly the balls right at the moment are running Mark's way, and on top of that, of course, he's taken advantage of them.
I just wonder if that red between the two yellows does go.
Well, if it does go, this is over.
Yeah.
You just can't see him missing.
That now.
I think it passes. And he's going for it right now.
Just the two reds together may prove a fraction difficult if they're not. Well, obviously they're planted into the corner pocket.
I'm surprised. I thought he might have gone across the table eventually, the left-hand side, and finished on that side and taken them both into the same right-hand corner pocket. But he's obviously confident of his own ability here.
Yeah, I don't think it matters which way he goes. He's going to finish here, isn't he? He's just too good.
Also noticeable, the speed of the table. I mean, he came out here. It's never easy to settle in as quickly as Mark Selby has, but he's just absolutely embraced the atmosphere out there, and he's loving it.
Yeah, it's just the ball going down the mechanism there just disturbed him, and he was down on that shot.
Into the left center. And it's Selby, 6-3 over Melling.
Well, what a fascinating confrontation between these two in our first semi-final. And with me, Lee Kendall. That's been great pool, hasn't it, by both players. But Mark is playing superbly.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline could be a lot worse for Chris Melling. He's had a couple of mistakes from Mark Selby, and he's only made one mistake himself, so 6-3. He'll be quite happy to come out at 6-3.
What does Chris do now in the break? He's got a little bit of time to gather himself. Can he change anything? Why should he change anything?
Well, he's made one mistake. He's just left himself bridging, so the only thing he can change, really, is his break. If he can get his break clicking, then he's got a chance, because you can see he is in form. But at the moment, he's just going Mark's way.
He's got to keep Mark away from the table more than anything, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Mark Selby's been... he's made 2 mistakes, but apart from that, he's been fantastic to watch.
OK, well, the semi-final is definitely teetering on the brink, and I'll tell you what, it's the best ride in Blackpool right now. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Norbreck Hotel in Blackpool. Semi-final stages, and what a cracking first semi-final we've got at the moment. Mark Selby getting off to a cracking start against Chris Melling, a 2-time world champion, and coming out very confident indeed at the start. But certainly Mark so far has been the man of the moment. Let's once again return to our commentators for you, Jim Weish and the rest of the team.
Ladies and gents, please welcome back to the table Mark Selby and Chris Melling.
Chris Melling certainly knows what he has to do. Effectively, he's got to win this match 7-3 from this point.
Trails 3 frames to
He knows he's got the break. He knows he's got to sort the break out. Frame number 10. 6-3. Melling trails, and finally success off the break. And listen to the crowd.
Yeah, that's the Keighley supporters there again, Jim.
That's the buzz he was waiting to hear.
Yellow ball's in play.
Didn't he hit them hard, too?
Yeah, it's 2 reds and a yellow, and he's immediately elected to take yellows, develop the bad one straight away. And this frame could be extremely short, to say the least.
All remaining yellows there on a silver platter for Melling.
I certainly don't think you'll be hearing our timekeeper Hazel Dabrowski during this frame. 30 seconds might just be a little bit more than the whole frame takes, not just one shot.
Got a little bit close to his work there, but it's no problems. He'll just pot the ball along the bottom cushion and come out to the middle of the table again.
You've just got to love watching snooker players, though, when they play pool. I mean, they're so steady. It's almost like they've found the holy grail in terms of fundamentals. I mean, the technique is so sound.
Well, as an ex-snooker player, you would say that, Jim, but this boy's played 8-ball his whole life. I'd like to claim him as an 8-ball player, first and foremost.
Well, I mean, did you detect a note of bias in my comment there, Mick?
Only a little. Oh, he's done this well, hasn't he?
Well, like a whip at Melling. Through the finish line in the 10th. He pulls back to 6-4, but he's going to have to sit and watch Mark Selby break in frame 11.
A lot better break there from Chris, though. Jimmy really got into those balls, didn't he?
Yeah, he just seemed to get into them more as well. He'd get a little bit more power on the break there. He stayed with where his position he has been breaking from.
Well, just like that, Melling has reasserted himself, but here's the break, the one that had deserted Chris to this point in the match.
See those 2 reds both disappear into the same pocket.
And the yellows disappeared in about the same amount of time. Mark Selby knows that this match and the controls are still well and truly in his grasp. 6-4 he leads Melling. The highest seed still remaining, Chris Melling. And look at this. Has this match done an about face on Selby? He offered to shake the referee's hand. He feels like the referee gave him a bad rack.
I'm not sure about that. I think actually Andy's picked Mark Selby's chalk up from under the table and stuck it in his pocket and not realised what it was. Or who it belonged to, certainly.
Well, he offered his hand in some respect there, Sean, and I mean, the referee didn't hand him any chalk.
No, but he certainly handed the table back to Chris here now.
30 seconds.
But if you ever are going to make a mess of the break, you certainly don't mind leaving all those colors in a cluster in the middle. This is far from easy.
It is far from easy, Jim, but there's only one bad yellow in the middle of it. He only has to nudge them a little bit, get that black and the yellow out of there, and it'll be a pretty simple finish.
Can you do it right here?
I think you'll probably pot the ball over the hole, get an angle on the one on the bottom cushion just to go into them.
So Chris asked for a time. I think he's after the rest here.
I think that's what he's doing. You just pot this ball over the hole, leave the white a little bit below the yellow.
Just look at this shot. This is interesting. He actually hasn't got the rest on the bed of the table. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. It's incredible.
Well, there, I was wrong. He tried to get that yellow and the black out right there, Jim. I think, well, as it's turned out, it's a mistake because he didn't get them.
He's almost a little fortuitous to have landed on that yellow to the left center. Yeah, I mean, that could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, the red could have come back down and got in front of it or anything there, couldn't it?
He's just had a look to see whether that yellow may be available to a pocket. No, no chance. It's got to be developed. Look out!
He's gone in off.
Gravity finds the cue ball. And that, a horrific mistake. And it couldn't have come at a worse time. Just when it looked like Melling had seized the initiative, a mistake.
What he's tried to do there, Jim, is just play off the red to leave himself this yellow down the right-hand side of the table, but just got too thin a contact on it, I think, and it's, like you say, it was gravity in the end that just...
Here we go, Mark into the pack.
Into the corner pocket, middle pocket.
Open up the bad reds, and haven't they split up beautifully.
Still got that one below the black, though, Mick.
Does have 2 visits still, Jim, so one would assume he's going to finish here. A little bit tough here, just over the top of the balls, but I'm sure he'll manage it.
Yeah, it's kind of handy to be 6 feet plus, isn't it, when you are queuing over a ball like Mark Selby is. Great effort.
He just has to develop that red and the black, as you said, but he does have 2 visits, so you just have to see how he goes about it.
Well, he's definitely got to save that second visit for that red. So he can ill afford any mistakes here.
Do you think he'll go into it here, Sean, or just get on the other red and use his 2 shots?
He's just looking at an angle, yeah, to come off maybe off the bottom rail.
Yeah, I think he's just making certain the black isn't on anywhere if he does happen to nudge them.
I think the other thing he's concerned about, he didn't want to cannon that yellow into the middle pocket, and that's where he was just weighing up where that, and he's missed it.
It's had a go, but he's certainly, as you
say,
not
only that, it's not that yellow close to the other red.
I don't think it matters. I think it's on. He'll just play that. Not easy by any means. He could knock it out here.
You see there, that red does go. Like you say, he's now got an angle maybe to come off the side cushion and back into that cluster. But the trouble is, it's his bad ball that's last.
Could snooker himself if he gets unlucky. He might just pot this, stay on the red, just nudge it off the black later. Here we go. It's had a go.
No, I think he might just be able to get through to this red enough to make it.
He's got straight down. Jimmy's on it. He is on this. Not a problem in the world. That's great.
What about that? Fantastic.
A little bit of fortune, but a great shot, the one before.
Well, he's using his second visit after all.
Second visit.
No better time. And the 8 down, and Selby completes the victory. An unforced error from Chris Melling.
Right.
And Mark Selby burns it into his memory banks. 7-4 in front of Melling.
Couldn't possibly have missed that black just to give the audience a thrill, could he?
I think I'll let you ask him that one, Mick. Well, Mark knows that every chance he gets, every mistake that comes his way, he's got to capitalize on.
Opportunity really is here for him to get into the final of the world titles, that's for sure.
He's just confirmed there that he's happy with the rack now from Andy Price.
12th frame, Chris Melling to break. He trails by 4 frames to 7.
So Chris back the same spot that he just enjoyed recent success, trailing 7-4. It's frame 12.
And he's lost the cue ball again. That's twice now that he's done that. And that's, you've got to say that's a mistake.
One visit,
because
time
again,
running.
it's gone straight in, I think. I don't think it was cannoned in by anything.
No, it hasn't been kissed way in.
See here again?
It's gone
No.
straight there.
Same thing, he did the same thing, but in the other middle pocket.
Guys, I've got to ask you, I'm starting to feel the vibes in here. Is this match starting to grow wings and fly away from Melling?
Most definitely, Jim. In fact,
Elbows in play.
the way Chris has broken that frame, if it happens again next time, he could find himself, he might only have one more shot in these championships.
I actually believe he's lost a bit of confidence in his break. I feel that he broke beautifully the last one, but overall, over these whole championships, he hasn't broken that well. And he's certainly a bit nervy about it, I think.
Well, it's all about timing, and you've got to time that break. I think our studio guest, Lee Kendall, alluded to that earlier. And right now, I think that Melling is certainly struggling with his timing and maybe trying to overhit the break.
Well, he hit the last one pretty well, didn't he? But that one, as Sean said, white ball straight and off. And, gee, hasn't he made short work of these? Yellow into the middle, black into the corner, and he's pretty close to home.
Well, it's a familiar theme. Selby eyeing up the black for yet another frame. To make it 8-4, Mark Selby is in complete control of the semifinal. Just 2 away from a place in the final.
Well, Mark wasn't happy with his break last time, straightened off in the centre pocket.
Yeah, and he's laughing at the ref.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Frame number 13. Will it be a lucky one for Mark Selby? Ball straight into the corner pocket. That's the first order of business.
Red ball pocket.
But a messy looking table.
No, it doesn't look like anything simple. The 2 reds and yellows close to each other down the bottom right cushion are just causing a problem. Yellow may be on in the middle, but the other one looks safe.
Go illustrate, Peter.
Yes, I think if for no other reason, yellows will be the ball here just because they're the
those
easiest
problem
starter.
balls there in that area that he's got, and that's going to cause him a problem in this frame.
Is going yellows.
Yellow ball's nominated.
30 seconds.
Yellow ball's in play.
The problem there is not that red over it, and it's adjacent to that yellow now, just above the black spot. So
He's certainly going to have to play well, isn't he, Sean? Yeah, he's going to have to move a few balls this frame.
Well, you really can't see him finishing here.
Well,
I mean, just too many good things would have to happen. At some stage, he's going to have to try and opt for just gaining control of the table.
Well, Jim, I hate to disagree, but I just think the way this guy's playing, he'll find a way to go. He's just been doing it so consistently
30
all the way.
seconds.
He'll try and get an angle on one yellow to play it into the other side and knock the red away from the other one. The 2 in the middle of the table here. Well, guess who was wrong? Jim, good call.
Now, Melling obviously just developing his 2 reds.
he's played a great shot there, because not only developed the 2 reds, but he's left nothing easy, if you like, for Mark Selby. I think Mark's just weighing up whether he could take one of those yellow into the right-hand middle pocket, and you see there he's queuing down without a bridge.
Now, what's the rule here? I mean, if this cue ball goes through that yellow.
Well, it's
Exhibition shot here.
that's a fantastic shot. Absolutely fantastic. Well, the thing is about world rules, Jim, it's that if a player appears to play a push shot, if it's played with enough speed, the referees can't call it. The rule says it's got to be, if it's played at speed, it can't be called. But I don't think that was a push shot there. He's played an excellent shot there.
So, in other words, if you play the shot fast, the ref can't call a foul. That's
exactly
handy to know.
That's the way the rule's written, unfortunately.
A bit of a mistake again from Selby. just run out of intended position.
Certainly nothing easy. He's playing his safety again, Jim. It's very surprising to see him playing safety. It's a pretty good shot.
Time out.
He's just looking there, Andy. If it's a total snooker.
Time running.
So he's not taking up any time of Chris's time there during the assessment of the total snooker.
And again, useful. He's keeping that yellow in the middle of the table pretty much in jail, but Mark Selby may try and develop that one difficult one on the left-hand side. Right now, not much to choose in this frame. I wouldn't want to have to go out on a limb and pick the winner, but
30 seconds.
Just opening the yellow up, is he? Gone for the double across the other side.
Oh, and he's gone enough. He's gone enough.
Very unlucky, but there was no easy shots there, that's for sure.
No, I've got an idea. He was trying to go out there because
Time running.
we had a quick look at that corner pocket, and the red will go past it. The red that's nearest to the black will go past it. So I think Mark was actually looking for a finish here. And he's been very fortunate. You see on the replay there, finding the middle pocket with that cue ball.
yeah, you've still got to say he's showing a lot of confidence trying to go out there.
I expect to see Chris take the finish out from here.
Well, he'll just open up these reds, won't he, Sean, and it'll be all over. There you go.
Chris knows he can't afford any more mistakes now in this match. I mean, each ball magnified, the pressure starting to mount.
Well, I do believe that Mark made a little blue in this game. I felt that he should have kept on going. We had a tactical battle earlier, and as you said, Sean, Chris won that. He's certainly better tactically, I'd suggest, and I think Mark should be going for them every single opportunity he gets here.
Well, what's the saying, Mick? You got to dance with the girl you brought.
That's it, Jim. And Chris will tactically be too good if he's not too good. Just potting wise as well.
Back to 8-5. Melling still in with a shot in the semi-final. He trails by 3.
14th frame. Chris Melling to break.
Well,
He trails
the
by
end
5
result
frames
will
to 8.
justify how happy he is. 8-5 in favor of Mark Selby. Melling with the break in frame number 14.
Come up dry again.
Open table.
He's come up dry, but he might be fortunate here. There seems to be a large cluster of balls just below that right-hand middle pocket.
Red goes inside the yellow here, do you think?
I do.
Red ball's in play.
And without a doubt, the Reds certainly more favorable than the yellows.
And he now may pot the red into the centre pocket, open up the only really hard one to get to, and this could be over very quickly again. Great shot.
Yes, and what looked awkward to begin with has all of a sudden unfolded like a rose, hasn't it?
Back to the red in the middle. Across the table, and this all looks pretty simple again. The black looks like it goes into that middle pocket near the white.
No, you won't bank on Mark Selby missing from here, the way he's been playing in this match. He might just be feeling, you know, the arm might just tighten a little bit. He knows he's getting near the finishing line. This race to 10, this semi-final.
Screw back for the ball down the cushion first. Yes, that's what he's done, just to cross over there and roll through to the ball on the bottom cushion and out for the black.
Just don't miss many from the commentary box, do you, Mick?
I'm a genius from back here, Mark.
Yeah, Sunday Night League, I think I miss every other shot, but I've never missed one from here yet, Jim. Fantastic play from the commentary box, me.
More importantly, Mark Selby isn't missing any out there.
He doesn't miss any anywhere by the looks of him.
And now just wants one more frame for a place in the World Final. 9-5, he leads Chris Melling. Well, Chris, if you didn't know it earlier, you know it now. There's 5 to play, and you want them all, son. And that is a tall order.
Well, I did say during the previous frame that if Chris didn't come up with a ball then, that might have been his last shot in this championship, Jim. And if Mark makes a ball here on the break, you'll undoubtedly he'll go game.
A great chance for Selby to keep Melling in his chair and bring him out,
Mark Selby to break.
only to offer his hand in congratulations. In what Selby hopes is the last frame played in the semi-final, number 15 awaits.
Red in the middle pocket.
Red ball potted.
Just had a quick look at the table there. I'm not sure reds are on.
I think
He's just looking whether that red will go into that right-hand middle pocket. Yeah, it's the only problem ball, so if he can get to it, you'll be seeing him take the reds here. Yeah, he's nominated reds.
And as you can see from there, Sean, that red is on.
He's looking at that difficult red now, and if it does pass bottom corner, you fear Chris Melling may well have played his last shot in this year's
spin
event.
on that cue ball there again, Jim. Showing you.
Just going to kiss into this yellow, is he, or is he coming right down?
No, I think he'll miss the yellow. He won't want to kiss into it. Yeah, he's
right down for that one first, yeah. Red may be on the middle, Sean. He may play it to the other middle.
Yeah, that's exactly the shot called earlier on. He's trying to get in behind it here.
Excellent.
And he's played a fantastic shot there.
Great
And
shot.
he's on it.
Again, he's just making it look so easy. And guess what? You're going to see a new appearance from Mark Selby in the World Final. He's home and dry at 10-5 victor over the number 3 seed and former 2-time world champion Chris Melling. It's Selby through to the final.
Well, that was an excellent performance there by Mark Selby, and Lee Kendall here with me. You know, he just didn't look at any time, maybe after the first frame he was looking a little bit pale, a little bit nervous, but as soon as he settled down, there was no questioning him, was there?
Yeah, it was convincing victory. To be fair, he has put Chris away quite comfortably there. 10-5 was a true reflection of how the match went.
How much, he's 28th in the world in terms of snooker, how much has his snooker background helped him, or is he just learning this game quick?
Well, he plays county pool as well as, probably even plays league pool as well, so he is well known on the pool circuit, so he hasn't just come to this tournament and played no 8-ball pool. He does play quite a bit of it, but playing on an 8-foot table, and he's used to a 12-foot table, is going to help him.
Do you think he can go all the way now and win the title?
For sure he can go all the way, without a shadow of a doubt he can win this tournament.
Any feelings for Chris Melling? Because he did fight hard, but just, I don't know, wasn't as good as we've seen him in previous matches.
I think he was kept under pressure. He didn't make balls off the break. So, you know, all those things put together, playing Mark Selby as well, it's going to be hard to get past a player like that.
OK, thanks, Lee Kendall. And, of course, why don't we go down now and find out from the man himself, Mark Selby, who's through to the final. He's with Jim Weish.
Well, Mark Selby, congratulations. You have really raised the bar, and the standard was tremendous out there.
Well, I wouldn't really say raise the bar. I mean, obviously Chris is as good as what I am, and I'm as good as what Chris is, like when it comes to potting and stuff, and it's just all about the break after that.
The break certainly deserted Chris Melling, but having said that, you took your chance as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was breaking well, and I was coming out like reasonably good, and I just went about the finish the right way.
Now, obviously more comfortable on a snooker table and better known on a snooker table. You do have a bit of a history in this game, though, don't you?
Yeah, I've been playing it since I was a youngster and stuff, and I started off playing pool, but not on this size table, but with me playing snooker, it does actually help.
Now, what about your practice leading into this? Have you put in a little extra time?
No, I'll probably sleep now till the rest of the day. I won't practice at all.
You obviously didn't have any problems with the spotted cue ball, did you, Mark?
No. I mean, I find it better. I mean, it's 2 grams heavier, which I think is better. But, I mean, with the red spots on, if the red spots was to come off the ball but keep the ball the same weight, I think it would be better.
Well, listen, you've got one more hurdle to get over, the final. Are you up for it?
Yeah, we'll just see what happens. I mean, like I say, it's all down to the break, and breaking well, I've got a chance.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Interesting words there by Mark, and Lee's just saying, you know, I don't think I'll practice because, you know, I've got the game where I want it. How would you go approach the final? Because it is a double-edged sword. You want to go out there and make sure you're honed, but at the other time, if you're playing well, what the hell? Why not? Why change it?
Yeah, well, he hasn't done much wrong, so why does he need to practice? He looks well informed, so he'll probably just relax and he'll probably watch the next semi-final and see who he's going to play and just get himself ready for the final.
Who would be a better opponent for him, do you think?
Everybody would like the Darren Appleton match with him, so I mean Carl Morris could quite easily beat Darren Appleton, but I think everybody would like to see Darren and Mark to play.
Thanks, Lee. Well, let's take a look at certainly the score from that first semi-final. 10-5 then, Mark Selby, an impressive victory over a two-time world champion. It bodes well for Selby as he goes through to that final. Who will he meet? Darren Appleton or Carl Morris? That semi-final still to come. But certainly, if the standard of the first semi-final is anything to go by, we are into a cracking end to the World 8-Ball Pool Championships here from Blackpool. It's been a great start to the semi-finals. Congratulations to Mark Selby. He's booked his place. He says he's just going to rest now and not do any practice. It might be a wise word. We'll be back next time from Blackpool with all the great pool. Bye-bye for now.